Oh, how are you guys doing today? I hope this video finds you well. This is Monday, day after the Thanksgiving holiday, so I hope you all did your cheating to get back on your programs, and hope you all didn't fall too far off of there. But I wanted to catch up with some more questions here. I think Drew's going to come in about a half hour, and we'll do some eyes, try to get some of these out of the way. But I love this one. I just had it. Forgive me, but I did have to address this, and so I have to laugh. This one is by Paul Carroll. And I love this. Hi, Robert, of the famous Sussex University. Oh, man. Can you explain why we have involved canine flesh-tearing teeth? I love this one. Paul, please, my God, if you're going to insult me, do it right. I mean, come on, man. Why do we have rip-tearing canines? If we are so disposed to fruit as you claim. Well, you don't have to claim, think it out, Paul. Use your brain and your awareness, Paul, and you'll see. Now, let me show you something. This is human canine. Some people have a little bit bigger canine there, no question. Depends how far back you were in the doggy life. That's a human canine right there. That's a dog canine, Paul. That's a dog canine. That's for ripping flesh. Not this. Don't insult our intelligence, please. These are flesh-ripping canines. Now, you might be right about one thing. There are some primates that have some pretty good canines for opening up fruit and nuts. You wouldn't want a canine to be a primate to be violent against humans, because you see what happens. And also that the group of chimpanzees now that are actually now cannibals, way out of character, way out of that, and you see the mutations of that. So thanks, Paul, appreciate it. Got it stuff. Listen, man, I'm giving you this free. You're probably going to have to hear some of my ranting and raves, you know. Sorry about that. Try to definitely pull that in, but you can tell that I've been through a lot with corruption and stuff, and part of why I'm here is truth, not just health. Health is a little bitty thing. There's so much more to life. You should be eating your health and not even thinking about health. Health is health. You got to work for it, you get it, and you go on. But thanks for your communicate, Paul. But I had to laugh when you said canines. People bring that up. There's canines, folks. Those canines will rip the flesh off. These won't. I have to laugh here. Sorry about that. Is this Carol again? Simplicity, the human body. You don't need 4 years of university to be a doctor. Learning about years of understanding of the human present. Just 2 fluids and a bunch of cells. What a dumb way to sum up a complex organism. Paul, you must be a real toot. You know what? You really must be. If you want to intellectually go into it, you can go and become a medical doctor and then really show your stupidity there, to tell you the truth, because that's what it is. It's so complex, the human brain cannot comprehend it. That's the problem. Man is trying to in his perverted ways, if you want, but you haven't got the brain to understand the human organism, nor do I. Not to be insultive to you, but you don't have it, and neither do I. It's too complex. It's way out there. Keep it simple, bud, and you'll be able to get well. If not, I can see you need some mental detoxing here and emotional detox. Sorry about that. I mean, you sound like a person that really is unhappy with life, and you don't understand simplicity. Your mind is confusing you, man, and you have to get a hold of this, because if not, you'll be beating people up in the wrong ways, and you're only one looking stupid here, because this is just all ridiculous kind of thinking on your part. You can't understand the human body. Medical doctors don't. If you think they do, then how come they can't cure anything, Paul or Carol, whoever this is? That's the thing. If you think we in science knows all this stuff, then how come we're where we are? See, these kind of people, you probably need to go to another site and get some you know, more down the road in some of the lower levels first, not to be mean or anything, but you're bringing up ridiculous stuff here. And this is just, you know, you really aren't ready for this level of thinking, and that's okay. People that have a mind like this, go ahead and go tear it up. Go to your best universities where your best professors are nothing but living in boxes and repeating the same old theories that existed. So you go ahead. You'll see this guy probably believes the world is flat. For those that are truly spiritual beings, they really want to grow beyond the intellectual jargon that has no really reality to it. This is simply creation. If you don't like that, please go to another site, because our site definitely wants to be full of loving people and people that want to get well and understand the simplicity of it all. You know, I've lived in both worlds, the intellectual world and the simplistic, and I love the simplistic because it's much more spiritual. It doesn't mean you don't know. The simpler you're thinking, the more you know. The more you act like this gentleman and you get trapped in the mind, you look real stupid to other people. You're making accusations that hold no water. So that's the problem with coming on like that in an intellectual way, is that you don't look too good there, Paul. And that's the problem. You can't go that route. You've got to learn that that's been your trap. And these people that write these kind of things are trapped, guys. So for those on YouTube, don't let those things bother you. But this argument about the canine is so funny and so ridiculous. Then that's my point. Someone that brings up a ridiculous thing like that, and that's the sort of thing. This site's about serious-minded people. And if you feel that science has all the answers, well, you go play in that world. Done it, been there, done that. Just because I keep things simple doesn't mean I'm stupid. Matter of fact, you have to be halfway smart to keep it simple, don't you? So, you all keep it simple. Always keep it simple. For those of us that have been treading on the path for a lot of lifetimes, it's time to keep things simple. It's time to keep your world full of joy and happiness. Health shouldn't even be talked about in the way we're talking about it. You're right. You eat it. But man's mind, the same thing has got this gentleman trapped. The same thing is what got us in trouble, and now we're in trouble. But we could go to the intellectual smart people to help us out of it. A lot of you have tried that for years and years and years and only got yourself so much worse. So appreciate the feedback, but you know, if you're going to put some feedback on this site, make sure it's worth it. Quack quack, Google disqualification, guys, especially the one from England. He thinks disagreement is big farm, intimidated by his 2,000 following. Oh, the same guy here, you know. You love people like that, you know. This person hasn't heard enough. He hasn't heard enough yet to let go of his mind and things like that. So, Carol's full of whatever, but you need to really go to another site. I mean, your kind of thinking isn't welcome here. Now, let's get to some serious-minded people here. Thank you. This is Morella. And don't ever stop teaching. Thank you, honey. I'm sorry that I get off on people like this sometimes, but you got to laugh. These people like this, they just... They just don't know how to get up and enjoy life. You know, these are unhappy people. They praise intellectualism, and you see we're a product of that. I'm just talking to a beautiful YouTuber. She's in pain for 6 years, couldn't get out, but she followed their ways. Well, I guess, you know, I tell you the truth. If none of you ever went to a university, I would be happy. I would be laughing from ear to ear, because I'll show you how to cure anything and not go to any university. I mean, this kind of stuff. I love academics, don't get me wrong, but you have to understand what academics are you learning. And there's so many theories out there that actually do not hold any cup of water, and our educational system does not understand creation, how it's put together. These people here haven't even passed first grade yet. There's so many levels and deeper understandings of the universe and of God and of health and healing that people like this, they're still down there in first and second grade. All of you guys on YouTube are graduating in the 12th grade now, and that's of college. So it's just a big thing about academics. You have to be careful. It's one of the bigger traps. There's no question you have to use your mind. I put up 2 videos, but I took them down on the mind. Of course, some of you have got that, but you know, most people don't understand when you say mind versus soul or mind versus consciousness of your awareness. There's a difference between consciousness or pure awareness and thought. Thought does not hold the answers to anything, but consciousness holds all the answers. And so that's what you should seek if you want to seek anything, is the answers to all of life. Well, it isn't through the mind that you can find them. If you notice, we have a lot of fine universities and we have a lot of fine medical doctors that know so much. They went to accredited school. Well, who accredited those? Yeah, interesting. Yeah, you have to take a look at the whole thing, but to get there, you have to get outside a little bit and understand the boxes in the trap that man has got himself into on this planet. So thank you. Let me go on and ask here, teaching us what a grand idea, YouTubing to the world. I thought that was good. I thought it was good to help people like that. I tell you what, it's a joy to see people get well. It's a joy to see people that had tumors and cancer don't have them anymore. It's a joy to see those that have been riddled with arthritis come out of it, or any kind of pain anywhere for years, can't be able to get out of their houses, can't be able to do this or that. The joy is there. It doesn't matter about your education. It's your ability to get someone well that matters. Most of you have already been to the educated ones, but since I'm the uneducated, I guess, here, that's okay. I don't mind, because I'm a God man. That's all that matters to me. You can say what you want about this universe, but I find that if you get away and you start expanding your vision and what you see and what you know is truth, boy, I tell you, it's such a great experience, full of joy and happiness and stuff like this. Let me see a little more on chronic discoid lupus and how is some people in terms systemic. Why does the body attack its own skin and body systems? Could you suggest which of your herbal products to use to heal this horrid disease do you do not want to take? Oh, yeah. All right. Well, here's the thing. And thank you for your comments, dear. I appreciate that. Now, remember, I want you to go back to the body's lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is so, and here's a good example of where the learned doesn't understand the lymph system. I was just talking to a YouTuber that dealing with some serious problems, very serious. Again, we talked a lot about in the 30s and the 20s and all these adrenals and these kidneys. Well, we're getting a ton of calls. Here's a gentleman with a thyroid cancer at age 30. So if you think that's funny and it's intellectual and that sort of thing, then you go play in another world. We have serious cases here that we have to deal with here, and I prefer only the serious-minded at a while, especially in the higher levels, because I want you guys, those that are serious YouTubers that are wanting to help others and heal, to get it from a simplistic view, and you will always have fun doing it and teaching others. You should never be so confused that you need to know all the answers, because they don't. No one has the answers. That's the problem with people making statements like this, is that the answers are not in science. We don't know. It's full of theories. And it's like, I've studied chemistry as far as you can go, I think, or at least as far as I'd want to go. Physics a little bit. And, I've been looking into all these things, but the true mark of someone that can help you is one that puts it all together. There's a lot of good docs out there, but they're living in their boxes, and they can't put this box with this box with this box. My expertise has always been to take all these pieces and put them together for you and simplify it so you can use it and get well. If you hadn't noticed, the average person is more simplistic than they are intellectual. Those nerdies, those intellectuals are running the government at this time. Oh, I wasn't supposed to mention the government. And that's true worldwide. Governments worldwide. And you can see what kind of mess we're in. The World Bank comprises some of the most intellectual people on the planet. These are the learned people. Interesting. But when your lymph system is backed up, and this lymph system is the body sewer system, the main immune system of the human body. When this system's backed up, what is it backing up? It's backing up cellular wastes, which are acids. And when these acids back up, after a while, in a chronic way, absolutely, you don't feel them at first except for some stiffness and some tightness, some joint pain here, that. after a while, becomes more systemic. Why? Because this is a systemic fluid. When the lymph system backs up in the prostate, for an example, and causes you a little prostatitis, or it backs up the ovaries and causes ovarian cysts, it's already backing up in your head. That's what people have to understand. And Jensen was the most important key to this in what he said in terms of genetic issues. Genetic weaknesses always has a compromise, in his words, blood and lymph flow. I can't speak to the blood, but I can speak to the lymphs. And we see that in the eye work all the time. And when I do the eyes, we're going to do some eyes here in a little bit. I'm going to cover that and I'll show you. And I've showed you before, around these lacunas, around these genetic weaknesses, you'll see that thick lymph there. And you know and generally that's where you have the problems. That's where you find what we find most of the surgeries are taking place, where most of the problems are. Systemic lupus is just like systemic arthritis or anything else. This is acidosis. It doesn't matter what factors in the body that change. The rheumatoid factor doesn't matter what factors, because it's still all acidosis and its effect upon the factors of the body, both in chemistry and energetics and all levels, to tell you the truth. Magnetics forms everything. Oh, but I'm not supposed to know any of that. I'm not very smart. I graduated from Europe. So that's an insult to Europeans, though. I don't like that, because Europeans are pretty smart people. I don't know where these people come from that like that. This guy's probably an American. Anyway, sweetheart, you got to get your lymphs moving, and if you're not moving it well, you got to check your urine for sediment. Remember, your adrenals and your kidney. And here's another thing you'll find also in systemic lupus and arthritis is weak adrenals. And we know that already in any lymphatic problem. The adrenals are controlling the kidneys. But in this sense, the adrenals also deal with steroids, cortical-type steroids, which are your cholesterols. And so you'll notice that when you run real low adrenals, those are the people that see the more cholesterol problems. And it's only because you're dealing with the major fight between acids and base chemistry. It's that simple. So keep working on this and moving your lymph. Go after your adrenals. Go after your kidneys. I would do an adrenal glandular. We have 200s. I do 1-3 times a day. If it was me, I would definitely go after lymphatic 1 capsules. Now, this is for everybody. If you got systemic problems, which you're going to have when you have lymphatic problems, they're systemic head to toe. This fluid just doesn't flow in one direction. So think about this. Stomach and bowel number whatever. If you don't move your bowels, if you move your bowels every day, do stomach and bowel number 1. If you have a tendency to be a little constipated, use number 2. If you miss a day every once in a while, use number 3. Number 2, go to number 1. Number 1 has no movement ability. It's a super good formula for inflammation, pulling mucoid plaque off, heals, that sort of thing. With that, I would do lymphatic 1 capsules. I would do 2-3 times a day. Now, this is for all of you that want to do lymphatic work, deeper lymphatic work. I also would recommend kidneys number 1. I would recommend that 3 times a day, or 2 capsules 3 times a day. Lymphatic 1 capsules 2-3 times a day. I would jump and do a liquid. I would do lymphatic 4 for, let's say, a month, and I'd go to lymph nodes 2 for a month. After about a month or 2, I would go up with another liquid lymphatic formula. At the same time, I'd probably stay on Parasite M for a few months for candida problems. I would probably do the liver gallbladder for a month or 2, then go to the blood, something like that. I like a lot of brain and nerve work because of the adrenals and the myelin sheaths and the low blood pressures and all that, and the nervous system controls everything. Well, I shouldn't know that, but the nervous system controls everything. I would definitely use brain and nerve number 2. That'll enhance and strengthen the nervous system. That'll help things respond better. So that's kind of the way I would go with that. Dietarily speaking, you know where I'm going. I'm going to fruits, berries, and melons. If you can tolerate that fast of a detox, go to fruits, berries, and melons all day long and a salad at night. There are times you want to kick it up because if you have a chronic, you have very backed up lymph systems. It's going to take you a while. There's no treatment-based remedy that cures anything. Just realize that. And that isn't hard to realize. And you don't have to be intellectual, but realize if you just take a look, symptom-based treatment rarely cures anything. It is fixing the cause of one's problem that always fixes it. Simple to understand, but that's the point. In intellectualism, it's got us trapped in treatment-based thinking. And it's continuing to go. Now it's into genes and it's into wild things that we're going to know. We'll find someday the answers. That's the kind of world people like this guy likes to live in. Those kind of non-factual, non-reality. I mean, that's where creation takes you even deeper into playland, where there's no reality, gets even messed up more. So, go that way, sweetheart. And I hope that protocol helped you, but really kick that out of the park there, sweetheart. This is Russell. My name is Russell, and I've been following you since May and June of 12. I think I finished watching, oh God, man, that's a lot of them. Thanks. I appreciate you watching. I'm sorry there's so many videos, but you know, I love to answer your questions. It's helpful because like this lady here with this, the systemic lupus, this is all over the place. Put systemic lupus in with fibromyalgia, in with Lyme's. Okay, everybody's bit by a tick, right? That's intellectual. You know, this sort of thing. These systemic acidosis problems are very serious stuff, whether you see them on the skin or not. These are very serious issues because these are acids, and this is how you damage cells. And we don't want damaged cells, so we really want to clean this system out here. And I know a lot of you are suffering. You can do fast track alkalizers if you want. That's baking soda, aluminum free. There's a you know, you can mix that with some kind of sugar like maple syrup or something. There's different ways to help, but in reality, you're at the top of the mountain and moving lymph, and you can only move it so fast, and you would really only want to move it so fast because of your inability to handle the healing crisis. These deeper healing crises can rake you over the coals, so you don't want to, you know, it's good. This is a good level to be at, to be honest with you. It's as aggressive as you can get, and some people can't even handle this level of aggression. Okay. Then we back down to more of the vegetable kingdom, and we go slower. That's okay. And then as you get better and you get more lymph cleaning out with the vegetables, you'll reach that plateau. When you reach that plateau, then you're good. You can kick that on up with fruits and go right on down the road with it. Some people don't have time to wait. When you have systemic acidosis problems, you might be careful of the citruses or of the acid fruits, or what they call the acid fruits. You might want to be careful with them until you're out of pain, and then you can kick up with them. It's just that acids within plants also interact with acids. You can see that with poison oak, poison ivy, sumac, these sort of things. These are just plant acids, you know. You have been, thanks, I appreciate that. To heal my girlfriend Stacy of her MS. Go, baby, go. And if you're, and tell Stacy keep going till she's walking and she's done with that MS and she's good. In June of 12, we both started on raw foods together after several months of research and tracking down where the signs seemed to be leading as the best bet for a real solution. She kicked ass, Doc. We started off, this is pretty neat. This is a girlfriend, his girlfriend with MS. You see, she kicked ass, Doc. We started off with a cherry fast together in summer. Ooh, that sounds good. I like the Rainier cherries too, boy. I love those babies. I made it 3 days. She went for a week and a half right out of the gate and felt like $1 million. Well, she's on that road now. She is in Georgia for the time being, and I am in California. Aww. Age 40 and 39 respectively, and so walking this walk together, that's kind of cool when you got a good woman or a good man and you're walking together. I just love stories like this. We've got 2 MS cases up in Canada, and you guys better get on that raw. You know I'm going to come to you and make sure you're doing it. You guys, you got 2 MS cases. They're man and a wife. They're both in chairs. I want you guys up walking. They're struggling to get to the raw, but you guys can do this, can't you? The list of things setting themselves right in her system in the last 5 months is very long, and one of the first was that she had within the first month enough energy to skip her monthly infusion of whatever this pharmaceutical for MS is. Isn't that neat? But I guess, you know, I came from a university that supposedly wasn't so good for some people. I don't know. I liked him really well. You know what, when you go back and you look at education, it's all about the professors and what they think they know. And then it's about the books that they read and how they came on. So you have different professors teaching different things, and then some professors can't teach anything new. They haven't journeyed into the higher aspects of the mind and then maybe into consciousness where they can see more about what they're teaching. We see this all the time. And so, you know, you just have to realize that education is nothing more than people that feel they're experienced in knowledge and they're teaching them. a routine she had done every 4 weeks for about 6 years. Could not function without and was nearly dragging herself to get it. She never missed by so much as a week. She is still off of it? Yeah. Well, you just keep empowering the adrenals, upper circ, brain and nerve. You get on the right herbs and she's going to get this out of there. She's got brain lesions. You know, you got to move that lymph. Clean that gut up, get in the head, clean that out, upper circ, brain and nerve. Get those brain lesions healed up out of there, especially in the cerebellum. You drain this whole thing, you get the adrenals up, and she'll be walking. She also did this without telling me initially and only told me after. Isn't that cute? Well, it sounds like you got a nice lady, man. Love her. She's a firecracker. Yeah, I love her too. I love people that take it on and go after that. You guys are so good. Every one of you guys are incredible. I just love that. My question is this. On the paperwork for her billing of the, I don't even know how you pronounce that, the infusions, it's listed as chemotherapy. Isn't that amazing? Chemotherapy for MS. I love that. I love that. This is what our intellectual community gives, Paul. Why don't you go get a dose of chemo, and then you'll know what these poor suffering people have gone through, and then you'll be barking intellectualism for quite a while, I guess. Understand that's not your realm reality, not reality, because the more she damages cells, the more that she puts herself back. And there is a point of getting cancer from chemo, whether it's leukemia or some other type of cell breakdown. This is insane. And you just don't do chemotherapy for anything. I mean, I'm surprised these guys haven't gone to jail. They will. They will. And that'll come from another intellectual part of academics, which is called law. I understand that's not your realm really, but I'm wondering, should she be preparing herself for a residual kick? Yeah, you know what? You know what I like about you YouTubers? You know what, then this is what about intellectualism, you know, this is the academics. Half the people that go through just don't get it. And this individual here gets it. He picked that right up on these videos, residual kick. You guys are good. I love you guys. Absolutely, there is a residual kick. I'm hoping that your girl is going so gangbusters that she won't even see a residual kick. Possible. Now remember, in all healing crises, she could have her MS symptoms back. Probably won't happen toward the end before she walks, but they could come back. Don't freak out, plow through, because you remember you notice symptoms twice, when you first create them and when you're eliminating them. So real important here. Could have a residual, good pickup. Man, these two couple are really, Russell, you got a good consciousness too. You picked right up on that. I don't know, but I tell you what, if it was me, I'd be going back to my medical and saying, is this chemo, you take it. Let's see you take it, smart boy. This is some of the problems here, to hurt people, to get them well. That's where our education's taking us, hurting people to get them well. That's ridiculous. So this poor girl, she's tearing it up. She's got a good motivating factor here. Get yourself walking, sweetheart. We'll help you all the way. Could be. I don't know. You know what? Hopefully she'll buzz through this. She'll get her cells strengthened, get her lymph cleaned up, and we'll be in good shape, my friend. I tried to look up online to find out whether or not it qualifies as what's traditionally known as chemo. It'd be nice to get the PDR on that. Go to a nurse's PDR. They seem to be pretty accurate. So go look up a nurse's PDR on this and see what you can find out, or get a hold of the CDC centers and have them tell you. Certainly that crap can't be good. No, you're right on, man. And she could be toxifying some of this out of her. So good work. You guys are so good. I can't tell you the blessings that I feel that you guys have come aboard here. You new YouTubers, listen, you really are tearing up. Sometimes I have to address quacks like this guy here with the canine crap teeth and the kind of people that like to tear other people down. In reality, the world only has, well, the world has a lot of these people, unfortunately, but don't let any of these people bother you. Just go gangbusters straight away. You follow your inner guidance and you work yourself through these. This is great. Hang on there, Drew. And lastly, could you maybe give Stacy a good pep talk? Stacy, a good pep talk directly on dubbing down to dig in deep to repair yourself. Remember, Stacy, get to all fruits, berries, and melons. Get yourself to all fruits and berries and melons. If you want to talk to the chiropractor's wife that have MS, call in to Drew or Jennifer, and we'll give you her name, and you can call her and talk to her directly. But of course, and you really kick this out of the park, because like anything else, if you don't get these acids out, things don't get better. And since you've been on this kind of chemo drug, then it could make brain lesions even grow more. I don't say grow, but you create more brain lesions. This is about acids. So this is so important that you take care of this, Stacy, and get yourself out of this MS. Because there's so many people with MS, you notice. But look at the adrenals. Get your adrenals. Get your kidneys. If you don't have a good herbal protocol, get into Drew, and we'll fix this Stacy up with a good herbal protocol. She's already been restoration. She's only been doing fruits, berries, and melons. Yoo-hoo! I should read on. She is skeptical of the herbs as medicine still. Oh, Stacy, slap your hand. Honey, you need the herbs, baby. You need to get those on there and get beyond there. Call that girl up on there, and I'll tell you, you'll see how important the herbs are to any of these conditions in terms of repairing brain lesions and stuff like this at an accelerated rate. Don't be scared of herbs. That's what all the other animals use. God created them, honey. Don't be afraid of them. I'll take them any day over anything else, by far. But don't be skeptical at all. But I know that the herbs are the way it is. They are. And don't be afraid of them. Embrace them. They're vegetables. These are the one vegetables I like, Drew. Did you know that?
They're pure.
Yeah, exactly. They're pure. And we've had 43 years since I went to Sussex, England. Boy, Sussex, no one likes you. I do. I've been studying diligently and have attempted to impart this knowledge. Well, Stacy, you get your butt in gear there, honey. You're already doing really well. Still on her feet 13 years after they told her she should be in a wheelchair. You won't be in a wheelchair at all if you keep going there. Russell, thanks for the comment. P.S. By far the best results are the ones where she's forgetting symptoms altogether and is dumbstruck when I query about this. Stacy, listen to your man, Russell. He's got the smarts here. This is funny. Thanks, Susie. I tell you, I have to laugh. Now, this is kind of a home channel. I'm sorry. I do get a little perturbed sometimes when people keep bringing up bull stuff like this guy and canine teeth and education and stuff like that, because it's just part of the problem. These people are part of the problem, not part of the solution. We're part of the solution, not part of the problem. You see, so that's why sometimes, because you guys, you're so pure and so good. Keep yourselves that way. I'm just going to read this here before we're going to do some eyes here. This is Susie. When you spoke of wanting to laugh in church, I had to smile. I had a similar experience during a healing service at my church. While being prayed for, I felt what I thought of as the Holy Spirit falling all around me and filling me. I was overwhelmed with the uncomfortable urge to laugh out loud. Yeah, because you know that we are spirit in motion. We are God in expression. Absolutely. I have one. Here's another MS client right here. Susie right there. It's all over, Drew. We see it all over the place here, honey. I know I won't forget that experience either. You know, it haunted me for years, and now I understand why. It didn't at first. You know, she has MS. I have been following your videos. My sister told me there was no way I can reverse the effects. Are you kidding me? Go look at the lady, the chiropractor's wife. Good thing that they wanted to go up on there just to show you what can happen and how you can get your walking back. You never listen to people that say there's no way, because they're only echoing, just like this guy, they're echoing square boxes. There's no way the allopath can get, if you were on point, factual, you could safely say, the allopathic community cannot cure MS, never has and never will. You could say that, and you would be spot on. But you can't say that about naturopaths, because Wah has done thousands of these cases. So, you know, I can't imagine you not being able to walk. If you can't walk, you're just not digging deep enough and rebuilding the tissue and cleaning your lymph system, because we always have success. I don't know, but this is the problem with family members. Family members like to wear the ignorant band, and they like to take their loved ones into those ignorant worlds with them. I don't know why it is. I've seen husbands and I've seen wives kill their mates because they want to go to medical doctors and have chemo. That's where their faith was. Their faith was in a treatment-based modality. They can't cure anything, and unfortunately they lost their loved ones from doing that. We got to get over that. That's why this YouTube channel, and you beautiful souls and people out there, you're putting it out. Look at the Facebook people are tearing this up. And that's what we have to do. We have to get ourselves well. And this poor CMS is everywhere. Honey, don't listen to your sister. You get honking on this again. Same with you. If you want to talk to this lady with MS, call in and talk to Drew. I told you so. I prayed about you. Just get up there, Susie, and you knock it out of the park, dear one. Okay. Canine. Human canine.
I felt that way this morning.
I know. You felt that way too?
Yeah.
You got a good picture for me. I was going to bring my little dog in here and show you his canine. These domesticated animals are probably losing their canines, you know. Yeah. But thanks so much on this.
No, but going back to what you were saying about the healing.
Yeah.
You also have to take yourself out of that acidic environment.
Well, that's it too. That's a good point.
People are being fed by what others think, what family members think, what friends are saying.
Exactly. You're hearing it from the man Drew right here, ladies and gentlemen. And you're spot on. You have to take yourself out of the acid environments we're in. And a lot of people love these acid environments. You notice that? They wallow in these.
They
thrive. I know. I know.
They crave it.
Well, they crave the negative experiences, and it's like you wonder if they're not got a little entity or something with them. I mean, you know, because people just do thrive on. But you know what? That's the nature of creation. You know, you play in the negative for a while, and it bites you enough to when you strip around and go, well, maybe I'm done playing there.
Right. It ends there. Now it should be more, I'm getting better every single day.
Absolutely.
I'm going to move forward.
Absolutely.
That's a positive mindset. Your body heals from that. It loves that energy. It's positive energy.
You hear that, guys? So, this is the Drewski. Absolutely. And that's what I want you guys to realize, that you always be positive and uplifting. Who cares? You know, really what you're after is my experience, my knowledge and experience with this level of thinking. Who cares if I can add 1 and 1 or I can pronounce a word that long? Who cares? And nor do I care if you can. But if you can cure something, I want to know about it. If you use an herb and you have a good result, I want to know about it. Because we're all about learning and growing factual stuff and proper stuff, not the propaganda that's always the same. You know that old saying, if you're not lead dog, the view is always the same? Well, these people like this guy, Carol here is talking, or Paul talking about canines and stuff, he's not lead dog. He's way back on the pack looking at all the other butts. The canines. But anyway, we're going to take a few minutes and do some eyes because I need to catch up with even the eyes.
Mm-hmm,
yeah. Okay, let's do that. So the word of the day is, get rid of the acids and live in nirvana land. Well, live in positivity, right? All right. Okay. Well, we've had these eyes here for a while. I love this. You know, this has been probably one of the most rewarding pleasures that I've had, is working with all the great people on YouTube. Because you have every great creative mind there. I'm going to assume, Drew. Oh, this is Babe. This is Babe. Now I know why she's struggling. Can you get this? Balance is the key. This is her. This was back November 8th. Was her 455th day on juice fasting.
Wow.
Okay. Okay, babe. Let's take a look at it, my lady. Let's look at that. I'll tell you why you're taking so long. See all this orange stuff? That's high sulfur, and look at how this, and this doesn't even look like sulfur. This looks like some other, and it could just be the armature and the lighting set on this, but you can see this eye has had a lot of years of unhealthiness, and this person is pulling themselves back, big time back, like 500 days on juice fasting. I mean, she's going to be in the Guinness World Book of Records on juice fasting. Holy crap. Incredible work. Now, this is the right eye, so right here is the right kidney. Just the right side of 6 o'clock. That's your leg there. And in the leg, you see a lot of lymph problems in the right leg not pulling up. But there's your adrenals, and there's your kidney here. The vaginal wall, little bladder, and then we kick in with the lower back. As we move up the back, we have a little mid to upper back, a lot of lymph. See that thick lymph down the back? So that calls for stiffness and tightness in the back. When it comes to the throat, you have this big lesion here, this big weakness in the throat. It's open. Now look at how this is open here. This is called an open lacuna or open lesion here, where, let's say this one over here is closed off. Now this one over here, we're dealing with the hip, and this is the pancreas and right ovary, and then we're getting into the gallbladder liver. So there's work here, gallbladder liver here. The arm is weak here, and then the chest wall. This is the right breast area, so there's a lot of weaknesses in that right breast and chest area. As you can see, this is the lung here on the right side and the bronchial trunk, so you have a weakness in the lower lobe, some congestion in the bronchial trunks in those lower levels. But good genes for the most part. See how strong, and those knitted, those fibers are pretty close here. You know, this is all up in the head area, congestion. This is the thyroid, parathyroid. This goes right to the bowel cholera, so that's parathyroid as well, and that's the thyroid. Of course, no school teaches you this, so where can I go to get smarted up with it? You know what I'm saying? It's that sort of thing. Skin also is a bit of an issue here when you look at this one. See, the skin's a little dark out in this area. This is also the lymph node area. So you've got some questionable lymph nodes that might have maybe deteriorated a little bit. It is suggestive of that, or at least they're in a chronic way. Now, that was the right side of the body. See, more of the same, that thick orange, so you know you're full of fungus, but look at this thick sulfur, and you have that thick wall. There's that brown malabsorption ring, but you have that thick wall. The cholera, it means the cholera around the pupil, that's the bowel wall. See how thick that is? That's a lot of lymph there, so you're malabsorbed there. As we go up into the the left shoulder, we got a weakness in the left shoulder, the left ear, and now this is the medulla oblongata and the cerebellum. I got to start,
Repeat that.
I graduated from, I didn't have good schooling, so yeah, I'm saying, boy.
You notice the purple ring also?
Right here.
A little bit.
Yep.
Head of purple.
Absolutely. And that's a good take, Drew, because this is showing circulation problems. This is the one thing that we know when circulation is being compromised in the body that we pick up. Also a clue are a lot of these blood vessels here, and these blood vessels seem to kind of focus in on all this mess right here. If this is the left eye, then what we have here is we have thyroid, we have more throat. So in the throat area, very weak. Matter of fact, this is a good idea that this lady is detoxing at the level she's doing, because this throat isn't real happy, and this could come up with some more serious problems in the future. Parathyroid is essential, and thyroid to fix. Going down the back here, we have more T-spine, we have L-spine, lumbar, this is thoracic, lumbar spine. We get into the bladder, then we get into more vaginal wall. I'd be douching here with some Hilal tea. Rectal wall weakness is also involved. Kidney weakness is involved. Here's a knee on the left side, a groin on the left side, a hip on the left side. A lot of lymph in the hip and ovarian area on that left side. And up here in the left breast area, we have weaknesses going on here. More bronchial trunk here.
Don't let those fool you. Nerve rings are visible. Slightly.
Yeah. They are slightly, but they are visible. Yep, you have to look real close. But that is going back to your adrenals again. And there it is, a little slight one. Not much though, Drew, but just a little bit. You're right. Good pick up on this circulation ring here. And right there is in the lung. And I would do lungs too, babe, right there, and clean that up a little bit. That looks like that's in the lower lobe of the left lung. Okay. I love the drawing. You guys are so creative. It's fun to work with such loving and creative people. And that's what I want this site to be, fun. It's an education site, you know. But the world is the way it is. Let me see here. This is a left. This is Joni. And this is a right. Okay. Joni, let me see. Hope you and Teddy. Thanks, Joni. Teddy, I love Teddy. You okay, Teddy? Teddy loves it on my desk, I tell you. I have a phone consult with you on November 27th. That's coming up tomorrow. Right? Today's 26th.
I'm sure she'll be able
so
to
tomorrow I have an appointment with her. I just wanted to see if you could look at my eyes and let me know what you think. All right? Hopefully you'll get this, sweetheart, before you come in. But then I have it right here. Matter of fact, I'm going to keep this on my desk since we have a... thank you, sweet Joni. You're a sweetheart here. All right. Look how they use all these little... I just love people like that. Yeah, you're right, Joni. Look at all the lymphs. Look at all this thick lymphs. Now, notice how you see the darkness here, and then you see that thick white. Now, this is the skin. This is a real chronically weak skin. So people don't realize that the skin is made of cells. So it's an organ. It's a breathable organ. And it is an eliminative organ. So you can see that this is backed up. See how thick that white is? That's subcutaneous. That's right under the skin, but it's also right where the lymph nodes are. So she's backed up in her lymph nodes. Each one of these little bright lights are lymph nodes. And she's really backed up in her lymph nodes, backed up subcutaneously in her skin, so the skin is breaking down here. Whether you have eczema, psoriasis, or anything yet, not important. Your skin is getting real weak. So this is where you want to refurbish that skin. You can use the skin formula. You can use dry skin brushing. But you've got to get this lymph broken loose. And this is one right. See that kidney there, sweetheart? See, there's that black in that kidney. You want to fix this one, honey. See that black in that kidney? You've got some deterioration in your right kidney here, and you want to get that. And there's your adrenal glands. And see that long line right there. That's the adrenal gland. Now notice that little stick there has got a thick white wall around it. That's a lymph wall. It's suffocating the adrenal gland. And that's your lymph system, not filtering through this kidney. With that said, here's a right knee, a right femur. Here's the appendix. See that? So you got to get this healthy because that appendix is not real happy. Got a little black in that as well. And so this is a groin. You have some weaknesses in the groin tissue here. Now we're going to go here. Not so bad in the hip, a little bit here. Congestion here, but here's the pancreas. See that black little line? That is the pancreatic area. You got to fix that up there. That's a pancreas. It's not real happy either. With that said, we're at a gallbladder that needs to clean out the liver. So real important that we take care of this sort of thing. This is partly in the bowel wall and partly into the bowel itself. You really need to clean up your GI tract. Got some darkness in your bowel walls around here. You really have to clean up. And you see that thick white rim that you have around your bowel wall? That's your malabsorption ring. And remember, here's the perfect stomach ring. You see that perfect circle? Perfect stomach ring there just shows acidosis. Head, not too bad. A lot of congestion in the sinuses. Have to break you loose yet. You have to clean up this bowel here to do that. Here we're looking at bronchial trunk. A lot of bronchial trunk issues here and a lot of congestion, sweetheart. You got a little bit of work ahead of you. A little thyroid over here. This is throat. There's some upper neck here. So you probably have a little bit of a sore throat there, dear. And then there's you're getting up in your upper neck, and all down your back you have a little weaknesses going all the way down here, sweetie. So really, this is an important eye to do some things with. You got hints of sulfur here, a little bit here and there. This is probably some drug deposit like iodine or something. Now this is your left side. Look at all this. This is in the forehead and all the sinuses. Look how thick you are here. You're just not draining your head out, sweetheart. You got to get this bowel cleaned up to drain this, get these kidneys. Because when I come down here, look at the kidneys. Here is 6 o'clock. There's your right leg, but you got a ton of kidney issues and adrenal issues, sweetheart. Got to get in there and fix those. Rectal wall, vaginal wall, bladder. Now here's part of the bladder. See a little darkness in the bladder there? This is the left wall of the bladder. So you need to. You're going to be on this program for a while, sweetheart, and get your health back, because this is a lot of weaknesses here, a lot of skin issues here, a lot of kidneys, a lot of tissue like that. We're back to the thyroid. Here's the parathyroid weakness. See how that parathyroid is encased in a lot of lymph? See that thick white and that little spot in the middle? That thick lymph, thick white stuff in that little spot. Well, that little spot is the parathyroid trying to be a parathyroid. Mm-hmm. So here's more throat here, so it's sore throats. When you see these areas like this, these are where you're going to feel some healing crisis. There's no question about that. Now, as we get up here, this is the left ear.
Wow.
Yeah, see that left ear? And now we're getting the shades. The cerebellum is just lots of lymph. So you've got to really get your eliminative organs back in shape, sweetheart, and start eliminating lymphatically. That's what this eye tells me. And since she's got an appointment tomorrow, Drew, I'm going to stick this and give this to Shannon or something, so she can put it in her chart. Now, this is Casey. We've got a right eye, Casey. Look at those long eyelashes. Woohoo! Those are pretty. Wow. Well, this is a brown eye. The other two we were looking at were blue. With the brown eyes, you see more of what we call the radius solaris. And these radius solaris are coming out of the transverse bowel here, sweetie, and going up into your head. And this encompasses your pituitary and your pineal. So that can cause you insomnia or sleeping problems, and the pituitary can cause you multiple problems from the suppression of the thyroid. Now, this is either tonsil or thyroid. I haven't mapped this out, but you're right there in that 2 to 3 o'clock position, right eye. You got the tonsils, you got the thyroid, and then you come in with the throat here. It's a little throat going on here. It's a little dark over here in your back, but you can see that you're dealing with some mid and lower back areas here, maybe even some bladder and vaginal and uterine problems. It's kind of all right in this area right here. With that said, here's the kidney, here's the leg there, the right leg, so there's some weaknesses there. Hard to see right here. That's probably the hip. There's a little weakness on top of that light of the camera. So that looks like a little hip on that side. There's a gallbladder stuck right up in there. See that little spot up there, Drew? That's a gallbladder stuck right there.
The dark ring, go back to the skin ring, okay?
Go back to the skin ring.
Is that the lighting?
Well, now that could be. Yes, good question. Yes, good take. Probably a lot of the lighting, since you see the lighting on this is somewhat compromised. You see the light coming in from this side right here, so it is going to show a cast over here. You're right on. Don't get upset with this one. That's going to be different. This has got 2 lights. This eye has got 2 lights both sides. So this is a bona fide skin ring. That is a real big skin ring. But when you go back and you look at this one, that is, but you do see in the light a little skin ring, which she is going to have some skin problems. You also, what you mentioned earlier, see these little nerve rings? This person has quite a bit of them right here, and it's all coming from that weak adrenal gland there. This is some bronchial trunk there, and there's some shoulder issues there on the right side. Maybe we'll have to see. In time, that'll start making itself known anyway. But not so bad. Got some good genes there. Definitely. Some nice eyelashes. Same type of thing. You see here the little radius solaris going up into the head area there. You got to clean up your bowel area here. And you notice, and I just noticed this, that through the years and all these brown-eyed people, very few of them have good colons. For some reason. Now, I don't know, there's probably nothing to that, but, it's just what you see. Hard to see down here. Your left side looks better than your right. I can't hardly see the kidneys down here. It's just not close enough here, sweetie. Getting back to the throat, though, the thyroid. And there's a big thyroid weakness right there, left side, going down to the parathyroid. But your left side looks a lot better. You got some traces here in the lungs and the shoulder here, left side, but real small stuff. Most of this is all around the gut here. Even your kidneys look better. Looks like you can clean them out and stuff, but look better that way. You still accept pictures. There we go. Improve symptoms of the... Okay, I am much improved, but still have symptoms of ulcerative colitis, like constipation, stuff up sinuses, painful urination, dehydration, fatigue, acne, and depression. So let's look at that. See, so this is a lot for this poor girl. Ulcerative colitis. That's a burn from the inside, but look, we're looking at the bowel. And you see this is the darker area. If this was up close, you would notice that this ring, this GI tract ring around the pupil, it will be darker than the rest of her eye. Also, she's got these black areas here. Most people don't give. Those are serious chronic areas. And this is all acidosis breaking down, and that's where you get the ulceration. But these are burns from the inside out. These are not burns from coming hydrochloric acid way down on the colon wall, although it can burn there if you have real low bicarbonate. You actually can burn from a Coke out the rectal. Your rectum
Really?
can burn.
Yeah.
Yeah, you burn right out. So yes, but these are acid burns, no question. So keep working on that gut there. That's chronic, so clean that up. She also has, well, you can see why the constipation. And then the nerve rings shows that she is neurologically weak. So by increasing the nervous system, that's why we use brain and nerve number 2. Also picking up the adrenals, that'll help her to get a better peristalsis. By breaking up this lymph stagnation, this will make the bowel more pliable, more responsive to nerve impulses. But what happens in acid mediums, of course, is you get an anionic, coagulated, dehydrated medium, which then hardens the tissue, making nerve responses compromised with that as well. So that's all good in that way. And get your adrenals and clean this up. She's depression, and right there's the parathyroid and thyroid. So she's got honey, you want to work on your thyroid, parathyroid, and here's a pituitary. So you got two things getting down on your depression. Pituitary controls the thyroid, and you got the parathyroid in there as well. That would give you the depression. Painful urination. Well, that again, going back to the kidneys, that doesn't surprise me at all. Get that lymph moving, get those kidneys cleaned up, and that'll go away. Dehydration is pure acidosis. That's a given. Fatigue, going back to the adrenals, and then the acne, which is suggestive of what you said, Drew, the skin here, and that sort of thing. Okay, Stacy.
That's exactly what...
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So don't be moved if you see that sometimes it can be just a photo.
Yeah.
The brightness of the light.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Now here's left and here's right. This is Patty. Boy, we have a lot of ladies out there that, but the ladies tell you the truth, take care of themselves better. Us men, sometimes we don't, we're men.
Slacker.
Yeah. Problems, 39-year-old female, hypothyroid since age 11 and 12. Holy crap. Taking levothyroxine. This is T3 and T4 synthetics. Severe bloating after cooked foods. Severe bloating after cooked foods, chest and sinus congestion, always feel pain and nape of neck. More on left side, and severe sinus pain when I am detoxing on fresh fruits, usually lasts 1 to 2 days. You can see why here with this eye though, honey. Overweight, 5'4", 140 pounds, well 5'4". So now we see a couple things here already. She's on T3, T4. She's a little on the short side, not too bad, but a little bit. So I'm wondering, we know there's some thyroid issues going on here, but is there also pituitary? Got too much going on with the thyroid, and then you're a little on the short side. How about pituitary? Right there. Right there. Can't hardly see it with this. You know what, Drew? Over there is a flashlight. And let's see if we can't light this up. Yeah. Chris found this for me, and it's a real bright baby. Right there, sweetheart, is the pituitary right side.
Doesn't help much.
It doesn't help much?
No.
Poop. Yeah.
Let me do that real quick. Let's see.
Push it on the end. It's a push button. Well, while you got that, there's a kidney, big-time kidney weakness right there. So she really got that. So she could have pains in the kidney with that. But look how thick. This is a blue eye turning brown. So this is a good example of a blue eye that's turning brown on her. And that's why this is all chronic lymph, sweetheart. The bowel shape isn't too bad. Little weakness there in the ascending bowel. Little bit of a prolapse, but not bad, really. Right there, pituitary pineal sticks out real big too there, sweetheart. See, he has more light on this one. We can look at this one. If you look at this one, pituitary, see that right up there? That's pituitary pineal gland. That's also transverse bowel. You have a weaker transverse colon on this side, but the shape of your bowel ain't too bad. A little interstitial lymphatic constipation, you get a malabsorption ring, but right there's pituitary. You got to work on your pituitary, because when I come to your thyroid, you ain't got a lot going on there. You got a lot of lymph going on in your thyroid, but you don't have a real big thyroid weakness on your left side, and I don't see a lot on your right. I got a lot of chronic lymph in your parathyroid gland, but I'm going to say most of your problems, especially when I see a T3, T4, that's pituitary is causing that problem, and you want to look at that. If it is thyroid, it's only suppressed because of the lymph system. You know, all that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, let me see here. You can see that this is real thick here. Let me show you an eye that what she should look like. And this will give you an example here. This is what this lady should look like. I love Jensen's camera. See the size of everything and the clarity we can get with his cameras? That's what your eye should look like. Now let me put it on top so we can show the two differences. Okay, so you see here how this is, but see this brown, all this thick yellow brown, that's lymph, sweetheart. That's chronic and subacute lymph. You got a lot of it. Even this blue eye has a little more lymph than I'd like to see in it. But you got a lot of chronic lymph, sweetheart. Let's see what else is going on here. Neck, this is all lymph in the neck, tightness of the neck, but that then affects the cerebellum, and then you can get into equilibrium, and right there's a lot of lymph in the ear, mastoid cerebellum, chronically so. Neck injuries in several places along right side of neck, multiple small, non-painful hard lumps on side of neck. Now, when you start getting lumps on your neck, let me just say that it's worth you digging in ASAP, because then you start getting, you know, cancer of the neck. And that's common out there. This is common to start to see tumors around people's necks more. And we didn't see that years ago. So the lymph is chronically backing up in people's heads now more than ever before. Dull pain, numbness in left wrist on thumb side that appears a few weeks after a wrist injury, previously diagnosed with genital herpes, but rarely suffer outbreaks, coffee addiction, lots of floaters in my field of vision, dental organs removed. Okay, I took a lot of antibiotics for several pneumonia when I was 10 years old. I am a beginner and I'm really trying to do raw. Finally, I want to... Oh, thanks. Well, Patty, you really want to kick it up another notch, sweetheart. Look at her long eyelashes. Holy moly. You really want to kick this up, sweetheart. You got a lot of chronic lymph going on here. You got good genes. I mean, I'm fighting to find your weaknesses here, but you've got a lot of chronic lymph. And here we go, Drew, another skin that's not filtering. But she's on thyroid, meaning her thyroid is suppressed enough to where she can't even get enough sweat going to keep that skin healthy. Right there's a chronic parathyroid gland that's chronic lymphatically. Right there is a chronic and weak pituitary. So I'll be addressing my pituitary gland on this case and working myself away from T3, T4. And making my adrenals healthier, or my thyroid healthier. Now with her left eye, she has a lot more light in there, so we can see a lot more. See how thick this yellowish, brownish look is here, and the brown here around the bowel. This is real thick lymph, and it's just backed up. You haven't been able to, of course, with the thyroid, you always see skin problems. Why? Because of the temperatures and the ability to sweat or not sweat. And with the kidneys. So we see repetitively with this case, we see the kidneys. We see the adrenals. Here we see a little maybe rectal vaginal wall weakness right here. Maybe ovarian over here. but not a lot. Here's more pituitary up here. This is just thick, thick lymph. One of these are going up into the head area, you can see here. So you're just, in my opinion, you got great genes, sweetheart, but you have a lot of lymph. So you got a little work ahead of you to drain your lymph system. Perk up your skin. I would definitely go after the protocol I mentioned earlier. Get on your lymph capsules, your lymph liquids. You get on your 2 kidneys. You go and clean up the bowels. Get on the GI broom and start getting yourself hydrated. It's going to take you a little while because you mentioned it right here. You're dehydrated. You sure are real dehydrated. And this is Star. Love the name. Hi, Dr. Morse. I've been trying to get help with my mental, emotional, and physical situation through you, YouTube, and your clinic. I have received such love and kindness. Oh, thanks, honey. I have no money to offer with our current financial situation. I have been buying some of your herbal formulas and juicing. Well, some people are donating, sweetheart, and we'll see what we got on the back shelf. This is going to be Star Groove. She calls you. I am looking for a more accurate reading so that I can be more constructive with my situation. If you can please look over my eyes and give me a little help, I sure will. I just want to feel better. And here she's probably a young person. Oh, she has a husband and 2 little ones. You see, this is why I do this. You know, we do this here because we love you guys. We don't want to see people hurting. Here's another mama with 2 babies that's walking right up into the world you don't want to walk up into. You're awesome, Star. Listen, thank you so much, sweetheart. And Star is hurting. You know, the first thing you can tell a person's hurting is their sclera. See this sclera? It's supposed to be white and no blood vessels. She has blood vessels everywhere. See those blood vessels, guys? Mm-hmm. That means she's as inflamed. She has systemic acidosis. Well, what color of eye are we looking at here? Look at those eyelashes. We're looking at a blue eye. We're looking at a blue eye. Now, it's hard for you guys to realize this, but this is a blue eye. This is a brown eye. See the difference? This is what's referred to as a hazel eye. I'm going to scoot this over there, Drew. Mm-hmm. Now, a hazel eye is a blue eye with chronic bowels. I've said this over and over again. See where your brown is? Right around your pupil. This is like a yellowish color moving that way. I don't see any sulfur per se, but chronic bowels here. Pupils are getting a little bit bigger than it should. That's the brain area, but up here we have sinus, forehead is backed up. Here is pituitary right here, and a little pineal right here. But this thick brown around your bowels is chronic, sweetheart. You have good genes here. You have good cells for the most part, but thick lymph problems. Here's skin too a little bit. Here's your kidney, outstanding. One of the most outstanding weaknesses here is kidney and adrenals, a little groin, could be knee, and so forth. Not bad. As you get in here, here's a parathyroid. But look at this, sinuses have to drain this. This is lymph. You got some lymph swelling in the lungs here. You got lymph in the breast. You got to just really move your lymph system. And you can see that. She's systemically backed up. She's got systemic acidosis. And look at all those blood vessels. It's just showing you evidence that statement is true. Same type of thing, chronic bowels here. Real sweetheart, I'd get in stomach and bowel, whichever. If you're moving your bowels every day, use number 1. If you're a little sluggish, use number 2. And if you're miss a day frequently, use number 3. And you can go on up from there. But you want to clean this out, use the GI broom, clean this up, get your lymph nodes cleaned up, get your kidneys filtering, and you'll pull yourself out of this. Because you've got good genes. Got a little nerve ring here or there. You got to get on the skin there, do some dry skin brushing, get your thyroid, check your basal temperature, see where your thyroid is. But if your thyroid is a little suppressed, generally from that pituitary right here, or a little of the lymph. A little throat weakness right there might come out as a sore throat. but pretty good genes. So this is a good look, but it's a lot of lymph. So much so this turns your eye greenish, brownish. But once you start tearing this up, sweetheart, your eyes will start turning blue again. And your friends, when someone starts saying, boy, your eyes are looking blue, you're getting it, Star. Now here's a good picture, because you can really see, this looks like my eye. Believe this or not, my eyes are not, well, they're similar. They're similar. Let me see what we got right and left. All right, we got right and left. Cool. Those are cool. This is Matt. Hey, Matt. Okay, we are wondering if Dr. Morse thinks that Matt has straight fibers underneath a sea of yellow lymph, or if his eyes truly represent a weak constitution. Also, Matt is interested in ordering an herbal protocol based on these photos, if it is possible. Please give Dr. Morse my best. This is Tracy in California. Could Dr. Morse please discuss Matt's eyes on YouTube? Exactly. Matt is a 36-year-old male with a history of low thyroid, low energy, low libido, vitiligo, dark skin on forehead and eyebrows. And this is a young man at 36 years old. So here's this guy out here touting canines, and we have a world of sick people. This is amazing to me. Let's look at here, Matt. The same thing, Matt. You see all these blood vessels? It shows that you're inflamed all through your body, and I use the word inflamed, but we probably more scientific would say acidic. But what people are seeing are these fibers underneath here. And that means that this weakness that you have here is not a real deep weakness, that this shouldn't be too difficult to heal. But here's where you see this lymph that encircles all these little lacunas, all these little patterns here, all these little lacunas, crypts, lesions, whatever you want to call them. You've got heavy lymph around each one of them. Now, this also is how healing lines develop. They start sewing up here like this one. Almost could say that you probably have had some healing in this particular area in the past. This is the right eye. This is going to be the left ear. But these are weaknesses. So this would be considered medium to weaker constitution. But these weaknesses aren't real deep. Now, where you see a deeper weakness is up here in the pituitary. Look at that. See that black up in there? Now, that is a weakness. Now, low thyroid, low libido, vitiligo, that all comes from the endocrine glands. Vitiligo is pituitary. Low thyroid can be pituitary, but I'm over here. Here's an actual thyroid weakness, and here's an actual pituitary weakness. So you have both. This is in your forehead. And I'll say this. This person, Matt's like me. We have to make health our passion. We have to make health our thing. Although these are weaknesses, Matt's got good genes underneath here, and he'll be able to pull those genes up, get this lymph moving. With Matt, it's a lot about moving lymph, where here's a big kidney weakness right here. Kidney and adrenal. Here's the prostate. Now we get the head of the bladder. See that darkness? So you were born with these weaknesses that are making this. This is the groin here. We pick up the hip. So everywhere you go, you almost find a little weakness. Even though under context, it's a pretty strong eye. I think all this yellowing definitely has some sulfur interplay in it. I really do. I'd have to get a camera that actually was picking up the right colors. This could be subacute. Subacute is also yellow, but this is more yellow-orange, so this is either subacute or you have a lot of sulfur. It's so through you so much that I don't think it's sulfur. I think this is just subacute. Here's a drug deposit right here. Here's another little one right here. Iodine or some kind of chemical that you've ingested. Here's skin ring around here. I don't know what this is. This picture doesn't give me enough look here. Traditionally, I would say this is a cholesterol ring. We'd have to have a better picture because Matt's only 36, but I've seen cholesterol rings at 36. If it is, Matt, you really got to get your butt moving there, son.
And the nerve rings on the adrenals.
Yeah, you got your nerve rings locked in there. You just got a lot of lymph, Matt. But here's the pituitary. I definitely address the pituitary there. That'll pull your thyroid up. You can even address the thyroid a little bit too. That'll pick up the libido, and getting your endocrine glands, Matt, will take care of most of this, even the vitiligo. And you want to get that pituitary under control, or you'll get real bad vitiligo. If it's going now, it will go on. Oh, good. Tracy gave me some good stuff here. His blood is 15, creatinine 0.99. So this young man's in trouble. He's already at 1 creatinine, and he's 36 years old. But you see, that's why you see so much lymph problems, is his kidneys. And look at that kidney. That's why his creatinine, there's a little deterioration in his kidney there. So this is why this is so important, Matt, that you get, or Tracy, you get Matt's in gear here. He's going to be a while working on himself. These people have to rewind some genetics here. His blood is too high, high triglycerides. His sweet cravings, of course, that's full of candida eye. So thanks, Tracy, in California. Let's look at his left eye here. That could be why his triglycerides are high. That definitely could be a fat deposits. Now, look at these spots in the brain. Matt, you need to get your butt in gear here. You got the setup for MS here pretty good. Here's your cerebellum. Here's your brain, a couple of places that could already have brain lesions to them. This is pituitary here, right in that area there. There's the adrenal weakness right there. You don't have a lot of nerve rings here, which is to your favor. Had you had more of them, boy, you would definitely have the setup for MS. Definitely. But you see all of this. Here's your thyroid gland here. Here's your throat. Here's your back, upper neck, middle back. This is up and down your whole back here. Here's lower back with a little deterioration. Kidney's better on this side. So we did find some. We found a better kidney, but the adrenals are not real happy. Here's your knee, your leg, your groin, your testicle, spleen. So really, someone like Matt has to just make life a one big healthy experience and not worry about it and just go after it. And that's the way I had to do. Just make life your health and enjoy life. Upper circuit, brain and nerve, very high on the list for me on this case. Upper circuit, brain and nerve, to say the very least. A pituitary cytotropin, or a glandular, that would be very important. A pituitary glandular. Maybe pick up the thyroid with a little glandular. Definitely get on with the adrenal glandular 200s. Definitely do that and tear this baby up, man. I'd also, tell you the truth, work on the parathyroid. 1 bottle of parathyroid glandular will help to strengthen some of the skeletal areas here. Go after the skin, go after the kidney and adrenals, clean up the bowels. But his blood work already confirms that he's losing his kidneys. 0.99 creatinine, that's 1. You really, that's on a good lab, that's as high as you want to be on a good lab. You're actually over the top. So this is a real important case for Matt. He's only 36 years old, needs to get a hold of his kidneys and adrenals, get a hold of his pituitary, and get a hold of that body of his.
Diet detox.
And here's some questions I missed. Thank you. This is Luca. See, natural hygiene, do not seem to find any difference between what you teach and natural hygiene. Well, I hope we're pretty much the same. I love natural hygiene. I raise my teeth on the natural hygienic people I love.
You do?
I love all the natural hygienic people. Oh, yeah. It's just it's just that when you're fasting, they do fasting as water fasting. My fasting is more the fruitarian diet first and then water fasting later on.
Always.
But natural hygienic, so we have a fasting clinic down in Bonita Springs here, a natural hygienic fasting clinic. It's not that way anymore. Nice. But you kind of didn't answer the whole question. Lots of love. I wanted to know if it was true that herpes hides in the nervous system. It doesn't hide in the nervous system, but it'll attack it. Attack is the wrong word. It's magnetically polarized. Keep in mind, viruses are proteins, and everything is magnetic. Well, viruses are attracted to weaknesses. And these are proteins that have a symbiotic magnetic relationship to weaknesses. But how does nature discover a weakness and attack the weakness? Because it's all about nature and maintaining strength and integrity of the genes. And you see man has done just the opposite of all the other creatures, so his genetic gene pool is going down big time, so we're prone to many virals. And when you see the herpes, of course, that doesn't hide in the nervous system. That's your myelin sheaths are weak. And that's the point with herpes. Herpes, any viral, whether it's HIV, whether it's herpes, whether it's hep C, doesn't matter the viral loads. Their viral loads are viral loads until they reach the acid mediums. Acid mediums promote, because they're proteins, and they bring these out. And of course, shingles is a good example of herpes being attracted to weak myelin sheaths. And this is everywhere you see, genitally, in the mouth, all these things, and they're involved in acidosis. Notice that you don't aware of them when your body's alkaline, but when you're acidic, you start getting the simplexes in the mouth, etc., etc., etc. Well, you need to detox virals out of the body and fix the weaknesses. And that's why you get a cure out of that, sweetheart. Does detoxing alone cure the virus? Gets rid of the virus. But these are proteins. I mean, we don't go Google viruses and see if you can understand what a virus is. But you notice they take place in acidic mediums and they're attracted to weaknesses. And I say they as if they're fully conscious beings. They're not like single-celled organisms, like a fungus or like a bacteria. So does detox? See, because I heard protein in meat keeps the virus alive. Definitely, and proteins are a form of virals. Thanks, not trying to be rude. You're not being rude at all, there. Look, I apologize that I lost this in the eyes here and didn't get back with you on that, sweetheart. You're not being rude at all. But it's Dr. Morse, M-O-R-S-E. Sorry that I missed that one. I've got so many things going on. I apologize to you there. And herpes can go dormant for years in the body, and you don't even know you have them if you stay with a raw food diet. But you want to go deeper and detoxify these out of tissue. Now, what color eye are we dealing with here, Drew? Is that a brown eye? I don't think so. That's a blue eye, man. And look at all this sulfur.
How would you determine that, though? Again, is it the
what?
Outer?
Well, take a look.
Let me get that.
Notice that this isn't true brown. This is a greenish, yellowish look. Brown cannot be any other color but brown or dark brown. It's a dominant color. So if you were going to paint a wall and you painted a lighter color, the only way that you could get rid of that, if you wanted to paint a lighter color, you would have to put some kill on it to paint it lighter, because dark always dominates in colors. So brown dominates, and a brown eye will never be a hazel eye. A brown eye will never be any other color but shades of brown. And as you see in this brown, you have the lighter brown, you have the darker brown, and you have the darker brown all around this guy's gut. And you see all the nerve rings. And through the nerve rings, you get to see the true color, because it cuts right down to the fibers. And that's the true color, a light brown. This is a greenish, yellowish, that's probably orange. It looks more like an orange sulfur in the gut here. So this is a blue eye. Can be only other color because there's only two colors. How do we know that? Detoxification. To be honest with you, if you weren't at these higher levels of detoxification, now get this, Jensen wasn't at these higher levels of detoxification, yet he could get an eye color to change. Yet here's all these German iridologists that can't get eyes to change, therefore they live in the world that eyes can't change. Right. So when Dr. Jensen, who wasn't a vitalist, can do that, it leaves some questions out there. How good are healers around the world? This is a blue eye. It will get bluer as you detoxify. It's just that we've ran both of these sciences together down through here. We've done the eyes with our detoxes, therefore we can see them. Not a lot of practitioners do that. A little bit of a skin ring here, a little bit. A lot of lymph going. All this whitish yellow here, that's lymph. The sulfur in the bowels, you got to get that out of there. That breeds candida, acidosis, acid reflux, stagnation of lymph, and then bowel cancers. Pretty good genes down here in the kidneys, of course, in the right eye. Here's the kidneys. Here's an appendix that's not real happy. Then we got a little hip, a lot of inflammation in that hip. Then we got a pancreas, elbow. I got a spot right here in the breast area. chest area. This is the right chest area, so you got a little chemical deposit. You got lymph building up in that area, so you got to clean that breast out or chest out. Who is this? Oh, this is Jess. This is a little parathyroid there, Jess. Little throat. So you want to pick up your parathyroid. This is not bad. These are not real deep weaknesses. So Jess can really get himself cleaned up here. Here's a little long bronchial trunk here. We're getting toward the ear and the cerebellum there. Not bad. Got to get your skin under control. Get your kidneys and adrenals up, my friend. Not bad. Clean up. These are real minor weaknesses. Not real deep.
Not bad.
Yeah, they're drug deposits. Got to be drug deposits, and again, that's sulfur. But not bad. Here's another outstanding kidney here, groin here. So you can see that the kidney is comprised about the weakest here. That might be ahead of the bladder right there. I think it's a little far to be prostate, but could be a little prostate here. A little lower back goes with it. And then the back here on the left side, you got the mid-back, upper back, your lumbar, thoracic spine, maybe even your T-spine up here. And then you got your throat and more thyroid. And a tad bit of pituitary up there and pineal gland up there. Here's the cerebellum. This is our last eye anyway. What time we got there? Oh, wow. Yeah, we got to close this off. Okay, I'm going to close this off. This is a skin ring. Jess, take off getting yourself well, my friends. 28-year-old female. Oh, it's female. Jess. Oh, sweetheart. I should have known with these beautiful eyelashes like this. So she really needs it. That would be the female side. But then kidneys here. Skin, sweetheart. Get your skin going here. This is a 28-year-old female. Had chronic fatigue syndrome for 6 years. There's your adrenals there. You got a lot of sulfur here, so suggestive of high fungal. That'll make you real fatigued with the fungus and the adrenals combined. Really breeds for, fibromyalgia, lupus, all these Lyme's, all this type of problems. Here's what it breeds. Excessive fungal problems, adrenal weakness, and so forth. My first year, she started feeling ill her first year at medical school, so I had to leave. I realize now, after listening to you, perhaps that was a blessing. It was, dear one. Thank you, sweetheart. Love you, honey. Sorry, it's been a while to get back with these eyes, but you see that skin ring? So, sweetheart, you have to go after your skin, get your lymph moving. Here's a thyroid right here. But not bad. This is a lot of lymph work on this side. Get the skin refurbished, the kidneys and filtering. But she's going to have a good, strong body here once she plows through that. Thanks, sweetheart, for looking at that. And yeah, now you can become a naturopath and go knock them out the planet. I don't have any more eyes here. Okay, and I gotta leave. All right. Let me just. I want to thank you all for taking your precious time and learning and growing. And just remember, sometimes the mind is your friend when you're in control of it, and sometimes it's your enemy when it's in control of you. Keep life simple. Simplicity breeds awareness. Don't mistake simplicity for unawareness. Because generally speaking, the mind, when you use your mind, you get into the field of unawareness. You start getting into knowledge and that unlimited feeling that you know nothing. It puts you outside of the mix. It puts you in boxes, and you're all too good for that. So you guys keep going. I'm really proud of every one of you. I hope this was helpful today for you, and you enjoy yourselves. And I'll try to catch up on these questions, but we love you here, and we hope you're getting your health issues back, and you have a beautiful day. May the blessings be, and make it a nirvanic day. Thank you, Drew, for helping.